Well, welcome everybody to this brand new podcast. My name is Reggie Badin, and I am so glad that you are joining us and that you can be part of this conversation and this community today. My guest is, you're gonna love her. She is amazing, Monica. She's actually, Monica, the way I, before I get into like the formal introduction,
Yeah.
I met you and learned about your background in L&D because you were like
We're neighbors.
we were neighbors. I mean, you live like two doors from me.
I think it started in the elevator.
It did, right? Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I was shocked. I don't know if you were, but I was shocked because I don't bump into a lot of people in our community, in our field.
Or that even understand what we do.
Yeah, right. If people are like, what is learning and development, and what is
L&D,
instructional design, and what is all this? I'm so glad that you're here with me and that we can have this conversation, even though I'm in Miami and Monica decided to leave the Magic City.
I know, but we were neighbors for what, 5 years?
That's funny.
And we always talked about doing something, and it took me moving to a new state before we started collaborating.
I know. It's funny that we were neighbors actually twice because we were living on one floor, and remember that? They were gonna remodel the entire floor, and so they moved us to.
Yeah. I mean, it took us 5 years, but we're here. We're both L&D experts. We're both very passionate about this space, so we made it.
Monica, talk to us about what who you are and what you do. Are you passionate about? Tell us a little bit about you.
I'm Reggie's former neighbor.
By the way, it's not a prerequisite to be on the show.
Okay. I think that is important to call it out. So I started I worked on cruise ships and went like right after college, and then I became a corporate trainer for cruise ships. So it allowed me to like do these quick trips to different destinations to train the entertainment team. So
Can you reveal the line, or is it like, did you sign an NDA?
No, I worked for Holland America.
Okay, Holland America.
Yeah, for 6 years. Yeah. So I did everything like kids club, senior cruise directed a couple of times, and then event manager. So I managed the entertainment department. And then I got to be a corporate trainer, which is really fun. So like training event managers and DJs and cruise directors. And I was like, wow, I really love training. I need to go to school for that. So I went to a school in Switzerland and got my master's degree in education.
Wow, Switzerland.
In hospitality. Yeah, Switzerland was the best. I actually tried to stay, but they said I was not important enough.
Yes, you are. It's their loss.
Yes, now I am. Yeah, exactly. So the school there was owned by Laureate, which is, they own the most universities in the world. It's an education network based out of Baltimore. Yeah, I guess it's still Baltimore. So there I fell in love with adult learning. I was like, okay, I want to teach. This is so powerful, like seeing someone go from knowing nothing to knowing everything. I really love that journey. And so afterwards, I moved to one of their Laureate schools in China. And I was a program manager there, and I taught graduate level and bachelor's courses.
I didn't know any of this, and we were neighbors.
Because we always just talk shopping every time.
I know.
Yeah.
I probably know what kind of wine you like, but I didn't know any of this.
Yeah, exactly. So I worked in China for 2 years. It was the #1 hospitality college there. Then they transferred me to Japan for a year. Then they transferred me to Australia for 2 years.
Oh my.
And then after that, I've been away for 11 years in the US, and I decided to come home and be closer to my family.
And you worked here, or are you still working for the same company here in Miami?
Yeah, so it was Learning Tribes, and now it's Sitel.
Okay.
So yeah, because everything's remote, and I was half-time remote anyway. So yeah, so same company for 3 years.
Yeah, I haven't left my office here in 3 years. So
Yeah, exactly. It's the best.
yeah, yeah.
I love remote work.
Listen, so do you feel like you got, because I know that for me, I sort of backed into this space, into this profession almost by accident.
Yeah.
Like you, I mean, my journey is a little different. I was an ordained minister, so I went to school.
I
You know,
am too.
are you?
Yes. But I did it was only because my friends wanted me to marry them.
Oh no,
But
okay.
yours is more serious.
No, I have the degrees and the student debt to prove it.
Oh my God. Do they
Yes.
call you like Reverend?
Well,
Was it
yes, I'm not practicing anymore, but yeah, I mean, so I took theology in undergrad, and I
no
took the yes, I
way.
went to seminary for 3 years. And so
Wow.
for me, I've always been very passionate about developing people, right? Because that's what ministers
Yeah.
really, that's what I enjoyed about the ministry, was just walking alongside
Yeah.
people. And for me, the biggest thing was leadership development, right? And so I loved working with my leaders, and because as leaders go, so does the organization. And so I was passionate about
Yeah.
that, but I wasn't passionate about everything else in the ministry. And so
But
when
developing people.
yeah, so when I moved to Florida, I started with, I came to Florida because of the church, but
Hmm.
then we went into the Great Recession.
Hmm.
Now we're going through the great resignation, right? But
Yeah.
there was the Great Recession, and so I lost funding, and I had to like scramble to see what I was going to do next.
Yeah.
Thankfully, like a year prior to all of that, I'm always learning, and I love to, I'm a nerd. And so I
Yeah.
I went back to school to get an MBA. And in that class, in that program, I took a class on human resource development. And I was like, wait a minute, I didn't even know it existed. I
More
didn't
people
know.
oriented.
Yeah. And so I had no idea that this was a field. And so when the door was closing for me to work with the church, I started, browsing for a job, and I
Yeah.
came across this learning and development coordinator.
Mm.
And I saw what they required. I had no experience in the field, except that I could put curriculums together, I can put classes together, I can put
Yeah.
lessons together, and I love teaching, leaders and managers. And
Yeah.
so I applied, and here, 14 years later,
That is
I,
so
I've gone
wild.
through the whole, process. And by the way,
But
after
you're
after
missing your PhD piece. I think that's significant.
well, so what happened was that after I was in it, right? So I
Yeah.
was like, what is this, right? And I mean, actually, I was the guy that I was replacing. I mean, this is just between the two of us,
Yeah.
and everybody everybody else was listening. The guy whom I was replacing had resigned,
Mhm.
and then try to like get his resignation back. He wanted to.
He changed his
Yes,
mind.
he changed his mind, and so, but it was too late, right? They had already they had already hired me. And
Yeah.
so he was there. They kept him for about 3 days so he could train me.
Mhm.
And the first morning when I went into his old office, now my new office,
Mhm.
he sat down, he looked at me, he says, you have no idea what you're doing, right?
Wow.
And
Wow.
so, because he saw my background, right? And so I said,
Yeah.
well, I think, developing people is a passion. And I think that, the principles are the same. He says, well, it really isn't. And he
It
says,
really is
listen,
though.
no, it was, like, welcome to to L&D. And he said, look, the only thing I'm going to ask from you is not to ask me any stupid questions.
Oh, this guy did not need to be in the LNG space.
So anyway, once I was in, I was hooked. Listen, I have a question for you, because this is something
Yeah.
that again, I had never heard about this industry. And so
Yeah.
let me ask you this: what are your thoughts about, maybe the experience of a minority?
Mhm.
I'm not, you're African American. What has been your experience in as a minority in this space?
I definitely think I only know a handful of Latinos and African Americans, even Asian Americans in the space in the US, which I think is, I'm not sure why we're not in this industry, especially when you think of instructional design, education, training. Like, you are building content for people that you may or may not represent. And that even goes through like social economic background. So I think corporations, it's a disadvantage not to have a diverse group of instructional designers, developers, trainees, and even my team. There's 40 of us. I have one Latino on the team, or Latina, and two of us are Black. Three of us are Black. So it's even, I struggle even in my own department, and we've been more conscious about it. We started learning about inclusion design and accessibility design to make sure that we are doing the right thing for our clients and for our learners. So I don't know why we're not in the space, because it's a wonderful industry.
I got a hunch though that when you're growing up, right, you hear of doctors and lawyers and politicians and business people, and you hear of all these professions, right, dentists, and
Yeah.
you know you don't hear of, there's learning and development, and
Yeah.
and this is this is a field that it's not going away, right? It's going to be
No.
I think that
The
with
pandemic made it even more important. The Great
absolutely.
Resignation made it more important. I just hired 7 teachers in the last month.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
And so I think that this, this is not going to go away. And so I don't know about you, but I think that one of the things that maybe we can do, as we look into the future, is maybe bring more exposure to kids in grade school and high school and middle school,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
maybe, I know there's some college programs out there,
Mhm.
but there's not many, right? I mean, I was fortunate that I went to a university for my doctorate that has a very strong
Mhm.
Go
What
Sharks.
university did you go to?
Nova Southeastern University.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So Go Sharks. And they had they still have a very strong
Mhm.
learning and development, education program. And one of the fields they have, which I was thrilled, was instructional technologies and distance education.
Yeah.
And so the vast majority of the people in that program are
Yeah.
educators, right? They come from high
Well, K
schools,
through 12 educators, that's
but
who jumped into this industry. Like, there's very few in the adult learning space, don't you think?
very, very few, very
Yeah.
few.
Even in your program, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think, well, I think I was the only person in my cohort who was not in the Department of Education, right? Who was
Yeah.
in the corporate side. And
Yeah.
so I saw this, again, and this is something that I found out too, now that I've been in the
Mhm.
in the space for a while, is that a lot of times they put people to be the training person, right? And
Mhm.
have absolutely no idea. They have no background, right? And so they're trying to teach adults like children, and
Yeah.
and right. And so
What keeps
it,
me employed is because the companies do not staff their L&D teams correctly, or give them the resources. So they outsource everything.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
So, hey, listen, I think that this is a conversation we gotta keep hammering, because I think we
Yeah.
need, I think it's a disservice to corporate America not to have more people like you
Mhm.
in this
Or us,
space.
or
Or,
us.
well, yes, I
I mean,
mean,
diversity in any field is really important, but
yeah,
we are upskilling people. We're preparing
absolutely.
for their careers, so we have a responsibility, and it needs to be reflective. We need to reflect the audience. So I love it.
100%. Yeah,
Let's do
well,
something.
listen, if anybody else is out there listening and watching this, we would love to talk to you, and, and
Yeah.
and and
Yeah.
continue this, because I think that we need more advocates, and we need more people to
Mhm.
just say, hey, listen, this is a great, I mean, listen, I am so glad that I accidentally went into this field. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been a great time.
I think it's, for me, I feel like L&D, it's very rewarding because, knowledge is the currency of the world. I
It is.
truly believe that. So being in a position where you can help people learn, like transition to a different career, or earn more money
Yeah.
or do something that they really want. It's so powerful. So you're
Yeah.
right. I don't know. I've never really thought about like educating or trying to get college students or even high school kids interested, but we have to do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. And listen, one of the things that I know you're passionate about in your, as you research and put things into practice, and with all the experience you have, that the internet and more, online classes and YouTube has created a new generation of very technically savvy individuals, but with a very, very tiny attention span, right? I notice this because I teach as a university professor as well, and I've seen it through, I've been teaching since 2011, and I've seen it with each class coming in that, my goodness, their attention span is like reduced to almost, to the 15 seconds.
Yeah. And they think they're all good multitaskers, and they're not.
Yeah, they're not. I see it in their work. I see it in their work.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I learned from you, and by the way, I'm gonna be honest and open, and I'm gonna feel really old right now.
First of all, I think we're the same age.
Well,
I just sound young.
Well, I'm gonna be 50 in a couple of weeks here.
I'm 40. I turned 40.
Oh my gosh, you're a kid. You're a kid. I'm 50. Okay, I'm like an old.
You're still in your 40s for a couple more weeks.
Yeah, I'm an old guy. I mean, look at this. I didn't have any of this gray. But okay, so
I've seen you in the gym at 5 a.m. So you don't act like
a while. As you can see, I've put on some weight. Yeah, and right now, my wife and I we're celebrating my 50th birthday out on a cruise in the Mediterranean.
Nice.
So I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to eat, and I don't care.
YOLO.
But YOLO. Well, yeah. So here's what I found. When Facebook came into, the social network phenomenon, Facebook came on the scene. I heard about it actually in my MBA class. One of my buddies, he's in marketing, and he came to us and said, "Hey, there's this thing, Facebook." And I'm like, what is that, right? And so he says, you get to post, what you're doing and pictures, and I thought it was the stupidest thing ever, right?
Yeah.
But I joined, and fast forward, that was 2008 when I joined. I don't know when you joined. You probably joined.
Yeah, I was in grad school, so it was 2007.
Okay.
Or 6 or something.
So 2008, I joined. Fast forward 2 years, and I was actually now teaching a hybrid class where it was a 15-week class. The first 7 weeks were in the classroom, and then the rest of the class was I created a private Facebook group, and
pioneering again.
My students loved it.
For you, forget that user experience, using Facebook to teach, building your own LMS. Come on.
Yeah. Stop. It's all about you today. So here's what I learned about that experience was that okay, there's something to this, right? And then so I joined Facebook, and then a few years later, Instagram, right, came and I joined that too. But there's this thing, and I'm confessing, I'm an old guy. TikTok, right? I've heard about it. I see, you see the little silly videos, right? Listen, when you and I spoke about, possible topics to discuss, because I reached out to you, but I didn't know what we were going to talk about. And you said, hey, I'm really interested. I'm doing a lot of research and putting things into practice with regards to L&D and TikTok.
Yes.
So I went and checked. I didn't even know about this. There's a hashtag. Did you know this? You know this.
Yeah.
Hashtag learn on TikTok.
Yes. It is awesome.
Okay. So I did research, and I pulled something from, I think it was introduced in 2020. Okay.
During the
it was introduced.
All the babies were working or doing distance learning.
Yeah. So
there are folks everywhere, because we know that everyone had different experiences with that.
Now, here's the crazy thing about this, right?
Yeah.
When I pulled the research from 2020, it was late 2020, it had like 1.2 billion views.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is today? I pulled it up today.
Did you? No, I don't know.
Listen to this, 269.8 billion views in
In
that's
2 years.
in 2 years.
Yes.
That is
That's why it's
crazy.
so fascinating.
Well,
You
talk to me
have to
about
get
it
on
because
TikTok.
I'm ready to start dancing and doing little
Yeah.
moves, and I may get hurt, but
You'll be fine. You'll be
I'm
fine.
willing to go there. This is
You,
incredible.
you have to go there. So I will say I'm 40 and I love TikTok. I don't make talks, but I look at TikTok every day because it's like good entertainment. You learn random things. Like now I'm learning about how to remove the horseshoe off of horses and how to shear sheep.
You have horses? Are you planning on? Are you gonna get
That's
a
what I love
farm?
about TikTok. No, nothing, none of those things.
No.
You get exposed to things that you didn't know existed or different lifestyles, even in your own state or your own country. So I like that. I like the entertainment. I don't follow anyone I know. So any of my friends or any influencers on Instagram or Facebook, I don't follow them on TikTok. I just receive and accept lots of different weird, funny things personally.
Well, it's true because I created an account for L&D Ninja community. Okay, so I
On TikTok,
on TikTok. Yes,
are we not going to do like a virtual dance? Well, first of all, I go to Miami almost every month now for work.
let's do
We
it.
have to do some TikToks in
We got to
person.
do it. We got to do it
Yes.
when you come. Let's do a dance together. Absolutely.
Yeah. But I know that you're
Send me the
49.
choreography before, okay, so I can
Yeah.
start
So you can
working
practice. Okay.
working on
So
it.
you're 49, but I will say that 30% of the TikTok users are over 30.
That's the other thing that, because again, I saw, whenever I thought of TikTok, I thought kids, right? And they're
Yeah.
being silly and
Doing a lot of research to see like how professionals are using it to train consumers. I've been looking at how companies are
that
using
makes
it to
sense.
train their employees. And
That
I'm
I'm interested
going to
in
do
learning
my
about.
own. Yes, you have to because you're going to do it. It's going to be the new thing. Like forget Instagram. Facebook is like in the past,
Yeah,
but TikTok's
nobody
going to
does
be it because it's conditioning us. So like at YouTube and ads, conditioned us to have a short attention span, right? TikTok is going to make us have an even shorter attention span. So
Yeah.
micro learning is going to be redefined by TikTok. Quote me now. Quote me now. In the universe,
it's out there. It's recorded.
Yes, it's awesome.
So okay. So in your research,
Yeah.
how does this apply to, let's say, I mean, again, I'm trying to learn. How does this apply to like in a corporate environment? I mean, I understand it makes absolute sense to use TikTok for to teach the consumer, right, about the product and the services. I mean, that makes sense to me. But internally, how does that? I mean, are we talking soft skills? Are we talking technical skills? Are we talking all of the above? I mean, what are we talking about?
So there's informal and formal ways companies are doing it. Even for us, we had an RFP to create a TikTok environment for learning for corporations. So without sharing too much detail, to have a formal one is you need to have an employee as an influencer, and which is one of the trends anyway. So someone that knows the job really well, they're very active. They maybe are on one site, but you have 50 sites and you want to reach everyone. Your employees are already on their phone. They're already looking at TikTok during their spare time, their lunch break when business is slow. So you have this thing. See, they're already engaged.
Bathroom breaks.
Yeah, bathroom breaks, everything at home.
Yeah.
So why not they're there. So go to where they already are. So they're having like some of the coolest employees share their tips, best practices. A lot of them do dancing, like they'll follow one of the dancing trends. A lot of them will just sit and talk, like they're funny and they have good personality.
15 seconds, right?
15 seconds, but you can do stories. So
Oh, okay.
what, and that, so like, even for you as an L&D like an entrepreneurial L&D professional, like you can get that immediate feedback for if you know your TikToks are interesting, because you post one thing,
Yeah.
create a hook, and then you get all of this feedback from the users in the comments. Like people will say, story time, I need a part 2. I want to know this. So then you create more and you create more.
How many? Well, so you said, and it makes absolute sense. You have to be an influencer. Would you consider
You
yourself?
don't have to be an influencer.
You don't have to be an influencer.
No.
So
I
is
mean, the community, so the population
Mhm.
determines if you're an influencer or not.
Ah,
So you, I mean, you may
that's a
want
lot
to
of
be
pressure.
an influencer. No.
That's a lot of pressure.
Just remember, on TikTok, it's
Yeah,
about people like to learn and they like to experience joy. And that's part of
true.
part of TikTok's like values or whatever. So as you're creating content, like think of, will this bring them joy, or will they learn something, or a combination of the two?
I've always told my students that to consider that, learning and development is entertainment. And
Yes.
entertainment has a bad connotation because I think it thinks,
Yeah.
well, entertainment is what, it's holding somebody's attention,
Yeah.
holding
We're
somebody's attention long enough.
edutainment. Yeah. But
Yeah,
that started
educatement.
even before TikTok. Like people, I mean, there's all that talk about how professors had to be entertainers now because we're working with millennials, we're working with Gen Z. So
Yep.
TikTok is just an evolution of that.
My God. I think
I
I'm gonna,
know.
I don't know.
I'm still trying to picture some of the dances that you're gonna do, and I'm just so excited.
Listen, I am not a very good dancer. And so
that's what
here's another thing.
You're gonna go viral.
here's another thing to learn about me. I'm a drummer, so I'm a percussionist. I have beat. I mean, I've been playing drums since I was 10, but I cannot dance. It was against my religion. I mean,
no, you're
honestly,
fine.
it was
But see, even mixing those two talents is what's going to help you with TikTok. Like
okay.
you can bang out some cool LMS facts, things that you learn while playing the drums at the same time. And then random people that aren't even in the space are going to start liking you, following you.
How do people get, I mean, how do people in our space get started doing, probably be more involved in TikTok?
Yeah, so I've been, I don't know if I told you, I've been working on my master's in data analytics and visualization.
A second master's?
A second master's, yeah.
A fellow nerd. See, I mean, yes.
I know. Because I think data, people have said data doesn't lie. And I also feel like working in corporate or even startups, like you always have to, for the L&D team always has to advocate and fight for what is important for the learners and the employees. Yeah. And when you speak business to business people using numbers, it's an easy sell. So that's why I started it. But then it's like, I think learning through data is also really powerful. So I wanted to learn how to create visualizations and storytelling and all of that. So anyways, to perfect my skills, I've been learning a little code, been learning Python, I've been learning how to scrape the web and create this. So my research has been like pulling this data and looking at professionals that monetize TikTok or grow their brand by teaching others. So
what are your findings?
Early things.
Do tell. I need to know.
Yeah. So some early things. So some people are like, they're expert in something that's useful. Like there's a woman that teaches Excel in 15 seconds. So key point, like she just does one formula at a time, one trick at a time, awesome. One thing. Yeah. And she's making 6 figures a month. Teaching Excel for 15 seconds. Yeah.
A month? Yeah. She's making 6 figures a month?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna start dancing on TikTok.
Miss Excel. She doesn't even dance.
Oh, she doesn't dance.
All she does is show a simple formula and has some music in the background, which is so powerful, right?
That is powerful.
You have data or not data, engineers, they're showing their tips. You have tech people showing how they get into the industry, people showing you how they cook. I mean, there's just so many different, there's a guy, he's called, I think his handle on TikTok is like Instructional Designer. and you can look it up. And he's teaching people how to become instructional designers in 15 seconds. And he's blowing up.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's
So I would just
incredible.
pick the one thing that you love the most. To me, you do a lot. I know you're an expert in LMSs, which to me is a lot of people know LMSs, but not to your level because there's so many bad LMSs out there. And
I agree. I
so,
totally agree.
I feel like even if you taught people how to purchase the right LMS or how to grow the LMS, yes, you'll do it.
Listen, I'm my apologies. No, but yeah, no,
But it's true.
Yeah.
Like, how to identify what companies need and how to be buyers. So I would do that. And then they're going to come and buy your LMS.
Interesting. All in 15-second bites.
Get some music.
Yeah.
There's one that you can like point to different words.
I've seen that. I've seen that a lot on now I've seen a lot of that. I first saw that in Instagram, right? Instagram, the
because
whole
people are taking their TikTok to Instagram. Other note. So people, I get it. People don't want to download TikTok because they feel like their data is being shared, all this blah blah blah. I think that's a lot of noise because Instagram, every social media platform does the same thing. The difference is that TikTok came from a Chinese-based company.
So they're suspicious there.
Yeah. And their algorithm's really good. So how their algorithm works is first based on how long you watch a video. Like even though it's 15 seconds, you can still swipe. And then it's based on if you like it, it's based on how long. Then if you rewatch the video, then if you like the video. So what it does from there is that it'll send you more things that have either the same hashtag or the same theme, and they organize the theme themselves. So that's why it feels like TikTok knows you better, is because they have a better algorithm than Facebook or Instagram.
There you go. I'm learning. I'm learning here today. This has been a great training session for me. Yeah. And now to really think, I mean, listen, if this was, the Gen Z generation, right? Millennials are into it. I mean, as you look into the future, I mean, I just finished taking a course in VR and MR at MIT. And I'm telling you, I'm a nerd. And so, one of the things that I'm already pondering and thinking is, right now we experience learning management systems through a computer screen. I'm already thinking, let's be an immersive, sort of experience, right? Nice. And so, I know that TikTok something will replace TikTok, right? Something else will come, but what is this going to do to adults, right? I mean, the sort of like the kids today who are going to be adults and the professionals and the leaders tomorrow. What is this going to do?
Well, I think there's using TikTok to educate your learners, your employees, whatever. But then I think it's going to shift how we think about microlearning and on the job training. So like now we have like the 15-minute course, a 30-minute course, and it's presented in a video, an article, like something like really well done. Sure. And you have your developers. I think eventually people will adapt to a fun 15-second video, again, using employees or someone else, and they'll just have this library sitting on their LMS, or they'll have it whatever community platform they have, and that's going to be the quick bites. So I think it's going to shift how we design microlearnings.
So it's not going to replace traditional.
No.
Yeah.
You can't really learn. I mean, you can learn something new, but I mean, you can't retain it after 15 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope people don't replace it. That would be terrible. But
we just have to become better dancers. And
right?
No, but listen, this is fascinating, and it's going to be interesting. I mean, for me, it's exciting. It's exciting. I embrace it, right? I embrace anything that helps us help people develop, right, and get
Exactly.
better at what they do, and help businesses, achieve their goals. I mean, that's at the end of the day, we play that a very crucial part. And so
Yeah.
to think that we can use all of these different tools like
Cool.
TikTok
Yeah,
and
I know. And then just remember, TikTok brings so much joy,
brings joy.
especially when people see your non-dancing skills,
Yeah.
playing the drums,
Oh,
talking about how to change lives through
yeah.
learning. I mean, what kind of like you can't get that on Facebook or formal training.
Listen, it's incredible. It's incredible. I have to really think through how I can, you know, do something with
Yeah.
TikTok.
And pioneer it too. I actually, now I'm curious. I want to start looking at LMSs to see if they're on TikTok. I mean, you already have auto, you have retail, you have tech companies, but yeah, you might be the
Yeah.
first one.
Well, a lot of and I'm not on TikTok for the company. I'm on TikTok for the podcast. And so where I've seen a lot of course, a lot of interaction with these
Mhm.
companies is in LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn seems to be the
Mhm.
the the,
Mhm.
the serious place to go.
Yeah.
But man, who knows what. And when you use all the platforms out there, you're reaching a greater,
Yeah.
or reinforcing the
And
message,
you
right?
seem to be an early adopter or pioneer. So
Yeah.
I mean, you're already talking about VR and bringing it into
I'm
LMS.
telling you. I'm telling you. I mean, I cannot wait for a certain company to come out with the VR glasses.
Yeah.
It's going to replace your phone, and you're going to be able to do, I mean, a lot through it. And
Yeah.
I cannot wait. And so now I'm looking at, like real estate in the metaverse.
Oh my gosh.
It
I
is
don't know if I'm
nuts.
ready for that.
It's
I mean,
nuts.
I feel trendy doing TikTok, but I'm not an early
No,
adopter.
listen, like Madison Avenue is spending billions of dollars on virtual real estate, to make sure they get prime locations in the metaverse. And
Isn't that
so
wild?
we're gonna have to put our university, our corporate university online. And so
Well, how does, I mean, do you know how learning and metaverse, how they connect to each other? Is it like,
listen, it's so we're doing this interview through Zoom, right? Which is it's a great technology, but Meta, the parent company for Facebook, and the Oculus, and this is probably going to be another conversation, okay? But through the Oculus, they have, I think it's called Workspace,
Mhm.
and I'm telling you that you put your VR, you put the
I
Oculus on the
have
headset,
3 of them, by the way.
and you have, okay. So listen, so we probably have to do. What will be fun,
Mhm.
if we did this on the metaverse.
Okay.
That's hey, it's coming. You heard it
It's
here first.
coming.
It's coming. We're gonna do it. Yeah. So
I just love
there's
how creative you are. Seriously, it's so amazing. Like you're just so innovative.
This is fun, right? So I created
Yeah.
a room. I didn't create it. It was already there. So I
Yeah.
just put my room in there, and you can configure the room as either like a conference room table,
Mm.
or in theater style, and it's a very beautiful environment. And you have like a screen, and you can display your PowerPoint. It has a board, and you can take the handset and get very close to the board, and actually write on the
Are
board, and you're
you
writing in
serious?
midair. I'm serious. And then in your workspace, you can actually link your, so you can see a virtual computer screen, and
Yeah.
you listen. We got to do this on the metaverse, and you can program your keyboard, and you can actually be typing on the keyboard on this.
No way.
it blew
Wow.
me it blew me away, and it's a much
Wow.
better experience, of course, than this 2D
Yeah.
experience that we're,
You see
because
like people's cameras off and a bunch of names, 100. Like now you can sit next to them
now
in
you
the
can look
theater.
right, and you can look up
Oh
and to the
my God.
side. It is wild. I think we're gonna do. Let's connect, and maybe we can do that. Um, hey, listen. Last words of advice for maybe people, newer people getting into L&D, or people already in the industry. What would you like to tell the community?
Well, I don't know. There's so much to say, but like you, I this is my life's work. I love education. I love adult learning. It's a very rewarding industry. And if people think you can't make good money, that's also not true. You can do that as an employee, as a contractor, as an entrepreneur. There's just so many different avenues that you can do in this space. So try them all, see which one you like, and then go with that.
And
get on TikTok.
Get on TikTok. And if people want to follow you, we're gonna put the links of where they can reach you. And you do some side gigs too, and you do consulting, and I know you do. So people want to hire her. She's amazing. She is. And by the way, Monica is she has, as you can see, the just like a out of this world energy. You just have a great energy.
Thank you.
Yeah. I remember the first thing I remember about you was just your smile. Just your smile. And then yeah. And so listen, when you're back in town in Miami, look me up. Let's
we're definitely doing TikToks. And I just want to say congratulations again for starting your own company, building your own LMS.
Yes.
And I cannot say enough. You are an L&D expert building an LMS, which is very rare.
Yeah.
So people need to talk to you, check you out, work for you, buy your LMS, because it's the right one. It's the right one. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, let's do this again. Let's find another cool topic to talk about.
I want to learn about metaverse. So next time, I can
let's make that another topic for in the near future. And maybe what we can do is figure out how to record this.
Yeah.
In the metaverse. I know there has to be a way.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
That would be so cool.
Let's do it.
I need to download it, and
I'll send you that, and I'll post all of that, all that information. By the way, if you can also the educators that you're following on LinkedIn, let's put those links there so people can also follow them.
I'll send you my favorite TikTokers who are teaching people.
Okay.
So K through 12 folks, business folks, I'll send that to you.
Perfect. Monica, thank you so much. This was fun. This is fun. Only 5 years in the making. Only 5 years. And you had to move out of state.
But we got it.
At least you didn't move out of the country, right?
I know. No more international living. I'm here.
Well, thank you so much. You were going to say?
Oh, no, that was it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you to all of you for tuning in and putting up with our craziness. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And we look forward to having these ongoing conversations. Keep developing people, keep working with people. Is
that your new slogan?
No, it's not. Maybe should I?
Yeah.
Should I? Okay, it's recorded.
Yeah, that was good.
Keep developing people. It's great. It's great. Hey, take care.
Take care.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.